Hello everyone, welcome if you're new here, welcome back if you've been here before. I hope you're gonna enjoy this video. So we're in a little bit of a different setting today. We're outside, so that's cool, I guess. It is just so nice outside. It's like warm, it's evening. So I was like, let's sit outside for a little. So in this video, I'll be reading popular books. Yeah. That's basically the concept of this video. So I'll be reading two popular books because these like popped out of there, and so I was like, yeah, I gotta read these two, and I was like, why not make a video out of it? So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. So I have two books that I'm gonna show you, and I feel like these have gotten the most hype recently, so I'm excited, and I hope you are too. The first book is obviously gonna be Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Still not sure how to pronounce the last name, but I hope I'm doing it right and not butchering it. This kind of reminds me of Deathly Education, which I really hated. I hated that book, honestly. But the concept, like graduate or die, sounds similar to Deathly Education. But I'm sure it's entirely different because this book has gotten raving reviews, and that book, well, let's just say a lot of people felt similar to how I felt. So, Fourth Wing. This has dragons, this has romance into it. What more can you ask for? Romance, dragons, and fantasy. That is all I'm asking for in life. I'm super excited for this one. And the second one that I have is The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. This is also fantasy romance, I think. I'm not sure what the overpowering genre or subject of the matter is. Is that fantasy or is it romance? I think it's fantasy in both of these, but I'm not entirely sure. Anyways, this has vampires in it. It's supposed to remind people of the Hunger Games. Never read or watched the Hunger Games, but I really love the concept of the Hunger Games, so I guess it should be good. And also, this has also gotten like raving reviews, so I'm excited. If we're putting these two books together, it's around 1,000 pages because they're both just under 500 pages. This one is 498 pages, and this one is in the 480 pages. So I'm gonna start off with reading Fourth Wing because this is the one my mom is most excited about. Actually, she was like, if it has gotten such a good rating on Goodreads, if it gotten such good reviews, why shouldn't you read it? I'm excited what you think about it. So I'm gonna read this first, and after that I'm gonna read The Serpent and the Wings of Night. And I'm not sure which one I'm more excited about. I'm excited about both them, so it's like they're standing equally right now. I really, really hope I'm gonna love both of them. I especially hope I'm gonna love this because I have set my expectations way too high already. I expect this to be at least 4.5 stars, but let's just get into it. Alright, I'm gonna read, and the first thing, oh, there's a map, I forgot about that. The first thing I'm gonna do is take the dust jacket off, because I hate reading with the dust jacket on. Like, I just can't. I physically and mentally can't. There's a map. And there's a bug. Okay, there's a map. Look at that. That's so cool. Holy shit! I'm super excited. Okay. Oh. Alright. For a moment, I was like, these chapters are gonna be so damn long. I feel like they still are gonna be. Oh! They're so long. Like on page 223, we're on chapter 19. I hate long chapters, but I'm gonna sit through this one because it's apparently a good book. It's actually not that long. That means that if every chapter was divided equally, it was just over 10 pages long. I'm being dramatic, I'm sorry. Chapter 1. Conscription Day is always the deadliest. Maybe that's why the sunrise is especially beautiful this morning, because I know it might be my last. That hits. That was, okay. I loved your father, but he's dead. I doubt he wants much these days. Damn, that's tough. I wanted to do a little bit of an update because I am now on page 55 and this is just the beginning. Maybe I need to get into it, but I'm not loving the writing style so far. Like, I feel extremely connected to the story and the plot and how it is going, but not at all to the writing style. That's disappointing, but what can we do about it? Absolutely nothing. So I hope I can get used to it or actually grow to love it, because I still have around 450 pages to go. So let's hope it gets better. Chapter 9, page 105. I'm curious to see how things will play out from here, in this chapter in particular, because something just happened and it's not good for Violet, our main character. So I'm curious to see what will happen. Let's see. First sign of this chapter is I'm so completely screwed. And I completely agree, because you are completely screwed. You're fucked, bitch. Not sure why this is funny to me, but it is. He's like, you're tiny. And she's like, well aware. That's... yeah, can't relate. I'm a tall bitch. Listen up. This book, I'm eating it up. Literally eating it up. It has me feeling so giddy. I'm not sure why. Because I'm actually not really loving the writing style, as I said before. But the story is just so truly amazing. Like, I'm loving it. So if this writing style is your type of writing style, and this story is your type of story, which it is for me, then you're gonna absolutely love this book. You're gonna worship this book, okay? Because I'm actually literally worshipping this story right now, but not quite not the writing style. So that's very disappointing, but I'm literally eating this up. Like, there was just one scene, I'm on chapter 16, there was, at the end of chapter 15, and all hell broke loose. That scene, that was epic. And it usually when something like that happens, it's like kind of a cliche for me. Oh, like, wow, of course that happens. But with this scene, I'm like, what the actual fuck? It was just so truly amazing, and I'm not sure why, not sure how it works, but it works. So I'm super excited to continue this book. It actually flows pretty slowly, but it's not like a bad kind of slow, it's a good kind of slow, like you can savor it. So now on page 179, chapter 16, and I'm excited to see how the story progresses, so I'm just going to continue reading. I can definitely see why people are comparing Fourth Wing to Divergent, because they for sure have their similarities. Like, two different books have two different plots, but they have their similarities. I'm gonna tell you the similarity in not much detail, because I do not want to spoil the plot of this book, which it will not spoil the plot because it's basically mentioned in the beginning of this book, but I do not want to say much, so you can go into this pretty blindly. So basically, people die. A lot of people die in a certain situation in a certain way. And that happens in both of the books, Divergent and this one too. So that is why the similarities end, that's all. But it's a big thing. So I really like that about Divergent, and I'm really liking that about Fourth Wing. So I guess that's a good thing. Honestly, this one dude, he's annoying the crap out of me. And annoying the shit out of me. Like, he needs to shut the fuck up. Like, shut your fucking mouth, bitch. Yeah, but he isn't doing that. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to, like, dislike him this much, or dislike him at all, but that's how I feel. If you've read this book, if you read Fourth Wing, you'll probably know who I'm talking about, or if you're currently reading it, because he gets introduced pretty dang quickly. But I am still reading, yay! I'm now on chapter 24. Can you see that? There's a dog next to me. Anyways, I'm almost on page 300, and you know that one character that you just cannot seem to get rid of, but you really want to get rid of? Yeah, that kind of character appeared in this book too, a long while ago, at the beginning of the book, but nothing seems to rid that character of this world, of the book world. It's so annoying. So with all the respect that I have in my body, please Please, I'm begging you, die. Die. Just die. It's fiction, so I can say these things. Do not come for me. But this character is getting on my nerves so freaking bad. Taking over what? My eyes narrow. Everything when it comes to you. I have around 200 pages left of this book. So I feel like I could finish this today, which I really want to because I want to start Serpent and Wings of Night right after I finish this one. So I'm gonna power through. I'm just gonna read it. Like, it's not a 5-star read for me at all. Like, I can just say that right now. It's not a 5-star read. It's probably more like a 3.5-star, 4-star read, but I'm really enjoying the story. The writing style is just not connecting with me. No, I do not stand for this. I do not agree with this. I will not accept this. Yeah, I just cried. I'm on chapter 37. I have a little over 20 pages left. And shit went down. Shit went down in those last, well, let's say 50 pages. It was tragic and so sad at some parts too. And my heart hurts. No. Nah. Please, no. I cannot handle this, okay? Like, I'm not... Excuse me? I want to throw this book across the room, honestly. No way! This is so not okay. Error in my head right now. Holy shit, that ending. What the fuck? Literally, only thing that I didn't expect to happen, happened. I was convinced that wouldn't happen. But it happened. Wow. Oh, wow. It is finished. I put the dust jacket on again. Damn, okay. I am empty. My head is like empty right now. I'm like, okay, what the fuck? That ending, as I said, that was like the only thing that I did not expect to happen, but it did happen. So I'm shocked. I also cried a little bit, which I did not expect coming from this book, but it happened. Overall, I'm giving this like a 3.75-star rating. That is not very high. It's not low either, but it's not very high. And I'm going to tell you the reason. Because the story, to me, the story was absolute perfection. Like, I absolutely loved it. But I got bored because of the writing style. I was at a lot of parts where I was like, let's be over. Just because of the writing style. Because I wouldn't call it complicated at all. But let's just say it's not my type of writing style. So, that's sad. It could have been 5 stars if the writing style had been different, because I definitely got a 5-star feeling towards the story itself, but you have to think about all factors: the writing style, the plot, the story, and that writing style just makes it lower rating. Now that I have finished Fourth Wing, we can continue on with Serpent and the Wings of Night. I am excited for this one. I think this will be like more my type of book. I have a really good feeling about this book. I think the writing style is going to be my thing. But I guess we'll see. It's kind of scared, but we'll see. Listen up! We have a map. Like, it's not a pretty map. It's all dark and gloomy and not much detail, but we have a map. I love maps in books, honestly. It is the next day, and I'm gonna be honest, I only read around like 18 pages yesterday, and that was in the evening. But I made some progress today in this book. I read up until page 75 so far, and it took me a little while to get like into it, but now I'm into it. I'm liking it. We got introduced to the love interest, we got an introduction, and like a little bit of the backstory of the main protagonist. And it's good so far. Like, I'm enjoying it, so that's good. And if it continues to be the way it is right now, I can definitely see this being like a 4-star read, and if it gets better than that, higher than 4 stars. But I really like Krista Broadbent's writing style, honestly. Like, it's good. So I'm glad that I'm liking this so far. I think that now that I'm on page 78, chapter 9, this is the start of chapter 9. Yeah. I think the first trial is about to begin, so I'm excited. I'm excited what comes out of this. If I like the trial, what happens during the trials, who knows? Because it is compared to the Hunger Games, I feel like a lot of people are gonna die. Vampires in particular are gonna die during these trials. Alright. It's been a day. Honestly, it's been a day. I didn't film yesterday. And I have a good reason. I didn't read yesterday. So I didn't film yesterday. So I'm filming today because I did read quite some pages today. I left off at page 140 and now I'm on page 230. So I'm almost halfway. I have 11 pages left, then I'm exactly halfway. So I read 90 pages so far today. And it's such a good book. And I'm really enjoying it. Like, there's not a moment where I was bored. Like, at the beginning, I was like a little bit like, ew, this is gonna be it. But now I'm like, haven't been bored for a second. I'm like sitting here. I'm sitting outside with my iced tea, with my seaweed. This is my last seaweed chip I think, and with my book, and I'm just reading, I'm eating and drinking, and it's so fun. It's honestly so fun. So I just wanted to mention that things have progressed a lot more. Not the romance though. Romance has been progressing. Like the friendship, like the relationship overall has been progressing, but not the romance in particular. I do not really feel the tension between these two characters. Could be me, but who knows. It's still a really, really good book. I'm really enjoying the crap out of this. I'm just gonna keep reading because I'm really, really enjoying this book, which is honestly a little bit of a surprise after Fourth Wing, because I did enjoy Fourth Wing obviously, but not as much as I hoped I would, and now I have lower expectations for this one, but those low expectations were definitely like met and are higher right now, so that's good. I have a feeling that I know where this is gonna go, you know, which direction it's gonna go, and I do not like that direction, so I really hope it's not gonna go that way, but I'm not certain. But you know, we'll figure it out eventually. I'm just gonna keep reading, mind not thinking anything, just reading, you know, like that is the most fun part about reading, just not thinking and just straight up just reading and seeing the scenes happening before your eyes, you know, in your head. That's fun. My last seaweed snack. It's so fucking good. I can't. My goal was to have finished The Serpent and the Wings of Night by yesterday. You can already guess it. Did I complete that? No, I did not. Not at all. I still have more than 100 pages left, but not more than 200 pages left. So I think that's already an accomplishment. I am now on page 352, so I read more than 200 pages yesterday, like 212 pages yesterday, which is already really good. So I'm not gonna like beat myself up for it. I'm gonna keep reading today. Goal is to finish this today, but I do have a busy day. I have work, therapy, work again. So not sure if I'm gonna complete this today, but I'll try my best. Like, I think I have around like 1.5 hours of reading left, maybe 2 hours of reading left, because I do have just over 120 pages to read. So I think it could be possible to finish this today. It could be possible. For the next 10 minutes, I'll be reading, because in 10 minutes, I have to get ready for work. I have to throw on my work shirt, I have to throw on my shoes, and rush out that door. So I think I have less than 10 minutes left. But that's okay. I'm gonna keep reading now. You know the thing that I thought would happen? I mentioned it. I even mentioned it. I was like, yeah, I think this thing's gonna happen, and I don't think I'm gonna like it. If it happens, it happened. It fucking happened. Okay, so that was life-changing. It's finished. I'm done reading this book, and holy shit, did I enjoy this. I really, really did. I ended up giving this 4.25 stars, or 4.25 stars, because it was just really, really good, and I did not expect it to be that good, because at the beginning, I was like a little bit skeptical about it, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like this that much, and I didn't look forward to continuing this book, but something changed at like a certain chapter, and then I was like completely into it, completely immersed into the story. So I really did enjoy this book, and I would definitely recommend it. I will also definitely read the sequel to this book and other Carissa Broadbent's books, because I love her writing style, love her stories, love how she creates the world. Also love that there wasn't too much world building or anything like complicated at all, which I really did enjoy. And there was a lot of death. There was a lot of twist into the story, and also really enjoyed that. So I would definitely recommend this book. It took me a little over a week, to read The Serpent and the Wings of Night and Fourthling. So it took me a week to read 2 freaking books. Okay, so I did read a little bit of new Elsie Silver book, but that's it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Would I recommend these books? I would recommend them both, even though I did not enjoy them equally. I would still recommend them both, because I could definitely see why people love these books so much, and I love this book too. I did really like Fourthling, but not as much as I did Serpent and Wings of Night, because there was a half rating difference. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you may watch more of me, and I hope I'm gonna see you later. So goodbye and see y'all later. Bye bye.